Hello everyone, this is Tony, and today we're going to be doing, as promised, the swatch and kind of first impressions of the Arteza watercolor pencils. So I have a 48 pack here, and I'll just open it up. Some noisy wildlife today. Okay, so I'm anticipating that, like the regular color pencils, that these are going to be not in the order that is listed on the tin. And I would be correct. See, so these are not in the same order that they're listed here. So the biggest difference I see right away is that these are hexagonal, not octagonal, geometry. And they only have one thick stripe here instead of two small stripes, which the regular color pencils have. But their colors and the names all match. This is a 48 set of the watercolor pencils. I have 72 for the regular color pencils, so there's less to swatch here. But the ones that I do have a match in the larger color pencil set. So this should go a little quicker. Here's my swatch chart that I've already made. Now I have two boxes here. I have one, I'm going to fill in this box with pigment and activate that whole box with water, and then on this one I'm going to do more of a gradient where I'm only going to color in on the left of that box and then pull the color over with the water. So I'm just going to start by laying down all the color, and then at the end I'll use the water brush to activate. So here's the white quartz. You won't be able to see it, but that's okay. Full disclosure, I only have one set of watercolor pencils. I have the FaberCastell Goldfaber Aqua. So I really don't have a lot to compare these to. I don't really know if they're compared to a certain set of watercolor pencils often. So I'm sorry that I can't be as helpful in that regard, but at least you'll get to see the colors. I can give you some initial thoughts. I like the way these lay down, actually. This lemon yellow feels really nice. I like that. This one doesn't feel quite as soft. So again, because the barrels and the colors are the same as the regular color pencils, we're going to run into a lot of the color doesn't match the barrel. So don't rely on the barrel to choose your color. You really need to make a swatch for these. These are crumbly, just like the regular color pencils. I don't think they're as crumbly as Prisma, but they are crumbly. Again, not a ton of difference in those yellows. They're different enough. I'm really interested to see how these activate in water. That one's nice and soft. I feel like the softness between the pencils is a little inconsistent. So because I only have one set of watercolor pencils, I feel more inclined to hang on to these than the regular Arteza Expert Color Pencils, just so I have some more color options, because the Goldfaber Aqua only comes in 48 colors. So this is a 48 color set, but it should have a couple different options. I kind of wish I had bought a slightly larger one, like the 72, except I just bought what was on sale to try them out. So if I start running low on these, I can replace it with a 72 set maybe, assuming they work out and work well enough. So I'm using my to-go sharpener again. I feel like it's fighting the hexagon shape a little bit. So what's happening is I'm getting, just kind of dumped it out, but I'm getting little pieces of pencil like this size. These tiny little shavings that come out of the pencil sharpener after I sharpen it. So it's a very messy process to sharpen these hexagonal pencils, but that just could be my sharpener. I don't know how other sharpeners will interact with it, but if you have the Tegall, I think this will happen for you. So I have shavings kind of everywhere on the desk right now. It's a bit of a mess, so just bear that in mind. So this is the Matcha Green. Let me just show you what happens when I sharpen this. And you pull it out. That one wasn't that bad. Oh, gross, these tiny little pieces. Oh no, I just put that in the wrong spot. That was meant to be forest green, I just did moss green. I'm not gonna be able to erase that well enough. So I'm just gonna keep them in the wrong order and relabel. So this is the forest green. Oh, now it's all sad looking on my swatch. It's okay. Let me just relabel these before I forget. Oh, it looks so sad and out of order. It's a nice and soft black, which means it lays down a lot of pigment, which means you can get a really nice dark black probably out of this. Okay, so these are all the colors. I like the selection. In fact, real quick, well, okay, let me activate these with water first, and then just for fun, we'll compare the color selection to my 48 set of the Goldfaber Aqua. This is gonna do nothing here, but yeah, I feel like those activate very nicely. Oh, I like them. Well, that one so far. Let's do the next. One's not quite as pigmented. It's a really light color. You could use that as probably a cream. I don't know if I would say the same thing about the jasmine yellow in the regular pencils, but I think in this watercolor version that could work as like a cream color. Of course, the yellows are always pretty nice in any set of pencils. That's not budging very much, but enough. Okay, they don't move around a ton so far. Like, you can still see a line very much where I had put the pigment down on the paper, but I don't really see pencil strokes. Yeah, I don't think you can drag them very far, so I wouldn't rely on putting pigment down in one place and hoping it'll drag across a shape very much. I think you'll have to fill in the whole space with the pencil and then activate it with water. But it would still be a faster process than trying to do it with regular color pencil, filling it in that way. Does that make sense? Sometimes I don't make sense. The more water, the more you can pull it, but also the worse that probably is for your coloring books. If you wanted to on a swatch sheet, you could also color next to it and not activate it with water so that you can see a color comparison, activated and not activated. Yep, that's a nice black, very opaque. Okay, so there is our finished swatch. It's still wet. Okay, so just for fun, I pulled the Goldfaber Aquas out, and again, these are FaberCastell, but they're the student grade. They're not as nice as the Albrecht Dürers, which I've never used, so I can't really compare to those. This is the swatch I have for it. I need to remake a swatch. So let's just look at our color selections. So some very similar. It looks like this has a slightly redder purple, maybe some different yellows, like an ochre color. This has very few oranges, so this has more orange choices, more reddy pinks. Some of the greens and browns look the same. There is one more gray choice. The black might be as opaque. I can't tell because I don't have this type of swatch on here. So I want to re-swatch these. Let me know if you want to see that at all. I can do that on a video, or I can just do it on my own. But I thought you might want to see a color comparison, since they're both 48 sets. The Arteza does come in larger sets, so you are able to get more. The quality feels about the same. The Goldfaber are open stock though, so you can replace individual pencils if you need to. These are not. You'd have to buy a whole new set. Let's just do a blending test. So get a red. I'm not overlapping these because they'll mix when we activate with water. Do the sunflower yellow. That's leaning pretty orange, so I'm gonna add some lemon yellow before I do a green. Okay, then, so this is Arteza. For fun, I'm gonna pull out the Goldfabers and blend those as well, just for my own sake. These aren't harder pencil already, I can tell. So I can keep a point easier with these. These are softer, which actually might be nice for a watercolor pencil, because then when you activate it, you don't see as much of a pencil mark underneath, but we'll see. Let's start at the lightest color. Okay, so I can see the pencil underneath, but as long as I keep going over it, I can kind of get rid of the pencil marks. Let's go the other direction. The yellows are nice, the yellows disappear. They mix pretty well. The green's disappearing on the page. Could just be my paper. This is cardstock paper. It's the same as I used for the swatch sheet, and I did that on purpose because it's more similar to coloring book paper, which is where I'm going to use these, not on watercolor paper. Okay, so that's a blend. Let's try the Goldfaber. Start the yellow again. Oh no, these are blending really nicely and are more pigmented, I think. Oh, that looks pretty similar. Let's go the other direction. Yeah, I much prefer this blend. It's more vibrant and pigmented. These, I think, dissolve easier, but this is more pigmented. I think you'd be able to lift and move these easier after it's dry. These I have a hard time lifting and moving, but overall I like this more. I think I would use both. So I'm excited to try a page with these and see how that goes. I feel like the water does dissolve the pigment quite a bit and you lose some vibrancy, but I'm willing to test them out and see what I think on a page. So that will be a separate video. Can I lift that? I can lift that pretty easy. Move it around. Yeah, that's nice. Can I lift this? Yeah, I like both sets, so time will tell. Okay, so that is this video. Hopefully it was a little bit helpful to anyone who's interested in trying out the Arteza watercolor pencils. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future.